Hey, welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Amazon Files brought to you by Mommy Income. I am your host, Kristen Ostrander, and I am going to get to all of the listener and viewer questions today. You guys, these emails pour in all the time about specific questions you have. You leave them on YouTube videos, you leave them on reviews, the Facebook group. And so I want to be able to just get to some of your questions today. Some of them are just in random order. I didn't categorize them or anything. I just, as the questions came in, we kept a stack of them and I'm going to just start killing your questions, right? Because you guys have a lot of questions about selling on Amazon. Some of them are bundle questions, some of them are beginner questions, but either way, this is going to be a jam-packed episode of just Q&A. So I want to give you some answers to questions you have. So some of them are listing questions and bundles and wholesale and is Amazon too saturated? So I love your questions. Keep them coming. You can always email us at admin@mommyincome.com with questions, and just put podcast listener question or something like that in the chat or in the email subject line if you want to email us, and we will do these once a quarter. We try to answer the questions that you guys have, because there's so many little questions that can help you just keep moving. I know a lot of you guys lack some confidence in moving forward with Amazon or moving your business forward. You've tried a little bit, so want to be able to just answer your questions for you, because I love Q&A. I want to be able to just get quick answers. So if you also want regular questions answered, you can join our Facebook group, mommyincome.com/join us. Your code word is #answers. You need a code word to get into the Facebook group, because spammers and everything else, we don't want you just joining a bunch of Facebook groups and all that for no reason. If you are interested in starting and growing an Amazon business, this Facebook group is for you, and you can get answers from myself and other amazing, smart, advanced and intermediate and even beginner sellers that can help you move forward in your business. So are you ready? I'm ready. mommyincome.com/join us, code word answers for getting into the Facebook group. That is like a continuation of what we are doing here. So with that said, I do have an amazing announcement. I've been announcing this now every show for a while, because I am really excited to get back into in-person workshops. I want to meet you. I want to do bundling with you. I want to build bundles with you from start to finish. And we are going to do this in August in Las Vegas in conjunction with the ASD trade show there. I can't tell you how important trade shows are for getting product information. For people are like, what do I sell? How do I know what to sell? This is a question I'm going to answer today, and here's already the answer. How do I know what to sell? You go to trade shows and look at what's available. You see what's out there, what's up and coming. What are the new trends? What are the new things people are looking for? What are the tried and true products that have been selling for months and months and years and years? There's tons and tons of products available to sell. And I think everyone tries to reinvent the wheel, or they try to overcomplicate it or overthink it in some way. It's about going to trade shows, or even going to trade show stalking and looking at their websites and being able to start opening accounts with them. Guys, there's millions of products to sell on Amazon. Millions and millions and millions of products. So there's not any lack for products to be sold. So going to trade shows is really important. That's why I host workshops, because I can also walk you through a trade show, show you specific bundle ideas to come up with, bundle ideas to pursue. And the best thing about going to a trade show is that you have access to those products. It's not like you're doing some endless Amazon search, or you're on Helium 10, or you're on Merchant Words, and you find some great keywords, and then you're like, well, where do I find this product from? Well, going to the trade show reverses that research. It shows you that this is what's available to you. Now do the research based on that. And I have had bundler after bundler come to a workshop, go to a trade show, and leave with a million bundle ideas. They've actually already ordered their bundles, and they're sending them into Amazon within a couple weeks of the workshop, because they've learned how to do it properly. So I would love to meet you. It's Friday night. We do a fun meet and greet. We just have drinks and appetizers, and we hang out and get to know one another. And then Saturday we build bundles together. It's an all-day workshop. We get hands-on, we get catalogs, we work together, we build bundles using the wholesale bundle framework. And then on Sunday is the optional walkthrough. If you've never been to a trade show, I take you around for an hour. We talk to vendors, you get catalogs, you open accounts, and you really start your bundling journey right away. So mommyincome.com/workshop. I hope to see you at a workshop. Seats are filling up, and we also have added some coming coming soon dates for the beginning of 2022. So I hope we see you there on one of these workshops. I can't wait to get back in person and meet with you all and help you jumpstart your bundling experience into new levels. So mommyincome.com/workshop, and you get a special coupon code because you're a podcast listener. Workshop 50 will save you $50 on that. So that's only for podcast listeners. Workshop 50 is the coupon code, and I'd love to see you at the workshop. Now, let's get to your questions. Okay, first question I hear is, can you get started with FBA in 2020, 2021? Or do you think it's oversaturated? No, I don't think it's oversaturated, and here's why. The reason why I don't think it's oversaturated is because people are constantly looking. When I say people, I mean sellers, people that are looking to sell on Amazon. They think they have to sell big brands. They have to sell brand name items that are really just oversaturated. So yes, there are many categories that I would not put my toes into. I would not sell iPhone cases. I would not sell things that I have hundreds of thousands or millions of views per month. You don't have to sell that kind of popular product. I will tell you what I do. I sell I don't do a volume-based business. I do a margin-based business. So we aim to make a certain number per profit per bundle that we put together. So we sell 99.9% bundles. Occasionally we sell one-off wholesale items that are like single unit items, but mostly we are almost all bundles and we are all wholesale. And the reason we do that is because we can make more margin. So I don't have to sell 5,000 units of something. I only have to sell 100, maybe less than 100. And I carry about 100 to 200 SKUs, 200 product bundles that we sell. It's a little heavier in Q4, so it's closer to that 200 rank, 200 SKUs per in Q4, because we do add some seasonal items there in Q4, because why not? I mean, it's Q4 on Amazon. Why you should have some extra products then. But it's not oversaturated. And I think people just look for these categories. Like if you're going to sell like yoga mats or athletic wear, yeah, those are some certain categories that are very, very competitive. Stay away from that. You know why? Because you know what people buy on Amazon every single day, all the time? Boring, non-sexy, average, everyday items. Things like HDMI cords, things like storage bins, things like home decor, grocery items. I would also, personally, I stay away from health and beauty or anything that's like ingestible or topical, because those carry a higher liability. And my insurance company's like, I'm going to charge you a lot more to sell these type of products because your liability increases. So that's just me. There are some, I wouldn't sell like supplements, for example. Simply because it's very, very saturated category. Now, talk about auto parts. Let's talk about science and industrial type things, school supplies. There are so many things to sell on Amazon. It can't possibly be saturated. Products are being invented every day. New products are hitting the market every single day. Products that you wouldn't think they're not sexy, but it's what we buy on Amazon. I challenge you right now to pick up your phone. Okay, maybe not right now, after this episode's over. Pick up your phone and look at the last 20 things that you bought on Amazon. Because look at your husband's phone, your wife's phone, your partner's phone. Look at your kids' phones. Like whatever it is, look at what people are buying on Amazon. I promise you, average, everyday stuff, things that we don't really think about a whole lot, things that don't necessarily have big brand names. Yeah, on mine, you're going to see a pair of Nike flip-flops, some off-brand sunglasses, surge protectors that like they're not made by Sony, they're not made by branded. It's just like, I need this surge protector, it has this is what I need, I buy it, add to cart, it gets to my door. You will also see these random things, like my daughter needed a pair of black leggings that were capris that had pockets. Great, okay, I don't even know the brand name, but like these are the types of things people are buying all the time. Look at your own phone and check that out and see what people are buying. There's plenty of room to sell on Amazon, especially since COVID has hit and COVID has it's subsiding. People are getting vaccinated. Great. But people have developed even stronger habits for buying online. So now is a perfect time to continue selling online, because guess what? E-commerce is not going away. People are still constantly buying on Amazon so that they can free up their time to do fun things in life. So it's not oversaturated. My suggestion is to pick categories that are kind of seem like boring and unsexy, yet people buy products every day in these categories. Okay, another question is, I would like to set up my own website and store to improve my chances with suppliers who look for this. Can you please discuss how you have handled this and what advice you would give? Do you actually see sales from these types of websites? Okay, great question. Basically, do you need or want, or what is the benefit of having, say, a Shopify store or your own website checkout for selling on Amazon? I will tell you the advantages of it. Is if you have your own Shopify store or you have your own, which by the way, we have a Shopify training in our Amazon Files Hub. So if you want to join the Amazon Files Hub, it's for wholesale bundlers. Let's see, let me take this off here and let me show you this one. And so the Amazon Files Hub is for those who have taken wholesale bundles and they want more advanced training. We have a training on how to start a Shopify store. Here is the benefit to having your own website. It's if suppliers say, well, we don't want you only selling on Amazon, because there's a lot of legitimate vendors that will say yes to you, but they don't want you to just sell on Amazon. They want you to have a presence somewhere else. So that's either a brick and mortar or your own non-third party. So a third party would be like Etsy, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, something like that. So if you have your own Shopify presence, even if you're only paying $29 a month to keep it on there. Yes, I know these expenses add up. Yes, it costs money to sustain a business. You're welcome. Like, it's part of life. But the advantage is that they want to see you have a presence besides Amazon, because Amazon's this big bad wolf to a lot of vendors. And so the advantage is that they might say no if you only have an Amazon storefront. But if you have a storefront somewhere else like Shopify, you can also, it's a way you can drive traffic, you can build a brand. I don't know that it's necessary, but it's a helpful piece of real estate to have to show your vendors you're legitimate and that you're able to sell on other places besides Amazon. So that's the major advantage. I got a Shopify store and set my Shopify store up only because there was a vendor that said, we will not sell to you unless you have your own website. So we made one because we wanted that. And now we've made hundreds of thousands of dollars using this vendor, and we only pay $30 a month for our website. And that was one of the requirements they had. So is there an advantage? Yes. If you're building a brand, you want your brand everywhere, not just Amazon, but you want to have your own presence and your own brand presence. I will tell you this. Our Shopify store has gotten 0 sales. And the reason we've gotten 0 sales is because 90% of people go to Amazon and buy stuff anyway. They're not looking for our website. We're not driving to our website. And why? Because we get all of our traffic from Amazon. So we don't need to drive traffic to the specific website. Now, we've just built a private label brand. And in our private label brand, we have an additional Shopify store just for that brand alone. That's a different entity. We're going to be building blogs. We're going to be sending traffic directly to our website for that, because Amazon fees are significantly higher for this product that we sell. So we're building it as a separate entity, not just in Amazon, but it has its own brand presence. We're going to be doing vendor shows. We're going to be selling this thing wholesale and a retail. So because of that, we wanted that store to have its own brand. And we have made some sales on that particular one, but it's a very niche product. So it deserves its own website real estate. So that's the advantage of building your own Shopify store within your Amazon, outside of Amazon, is that you give access to more vendors because they want to see where you're selling. They're going to check out your site. It doesn't have to be the best thing in the world, but it's a very inexpensive way to broaden your horizons to get more vendors to be able to help you with that. So I would suggest it, mommyincome.com/Shopify if you want to check that out. And of course, there's a hub training, an advanced hub training in the Amazon Files Hub for you as well. Okay. If one is a sole proprietor and wanting to get into wholesale, how important would you say it is to become an LLC? Okay, so I'm going to disclaim this here by saying I don't give tax advice or legal advice or business entity advice as a professional. in any one of those areas. But I will give you what my experience has been. Number one, I feel like a sole proprietor is just fine in the beginning. You get yourself set up, you use an EIN number, so you don't use your social security number anywhere. A sole proprietorship is just fine. However, you want to get an LLC eventually because it protects your personal assets. If you own a $5 million vacation home and you start your business as a sole proprietor and you get sued, they can take your house. If you file as an LLC, they can sue your business, but they can't sue you personally to take all of your stuff. This is my understanding of the way this works. So we are set up as an LLC so that they don't come take my personal assets. If somehow my product causes damage and we get sued, they can take the business and the business assets, but they can't take that. So I think it's important to become an LLC, have that in your plan. But to just get started and get your feet wet, a sole proprietorship is fine. You can migrate to an LLC at any time. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't, and Amazon will make the quick change for you. You have to go into your tax settings and just change the structure of your business from sole proprietor to an LLC. So I suggest doing an LLC as soon as possible, but it's not something that you have to do right away before you start sending in shipments to Amazon. It's really easy to transition from sole proprietor to an LLC. And so I do suggest making that change at some point. Okay, let me fish through these questions some more. Okay, so here's another question. It says, sorry guys, I lost my window here. Okay. If I have individual items at Amazon and I want to recall them and bundle them, what do I do? So if you have, say, a single unit wholesale item that's not doing very well, or you haven't made any sales on it as of yet, or it's just moving slow and you want to take that and bundle it, you go to your inventory manager, you hit that, you get that ASIN, and then you say create a removal order. You create a removal order, have all the units sent back to your house, or wherever it is you receive your inventory, and then repurpose that item into a bundle. So it's just creating a removal order, picking the address, and having it sent back to you. So yeah, I suggest it all the time. As a matter of fact, there's a lady in our Amazon Files hub. Her name is Laura, and she recently did this with a slow moving item that she thought was okay. And at first it was moving okay, but now it's just too much competition. She pulled it back, she bundled it into something else, and now she's selling out. So congrats, Laura, for doing that. That's really helpful to repurpose. I've done it myself. I've had items where I have just, for some reason, were slow movers or weren't working very well, and we just repurposed them, brought them back. So that's a great thing. I am stuck trying to figure out the trademark process. How is it incorporated into bundle packaging in the custom packaging course? All the examples are described as being bundled. So what does your trademark and or logo do? Okay. Hold on. A logo fit in. Should you trademark your brand and your business, your store name, all these different things? Great question. Love this question. Hold on, let me get my window back. You guys, I'm crazy about my windows here. Okay, so trademarking. There's two things. Number one, I highly recommend getting a trademark for your bundle brand. So if my bundle brand, your brand and your store name do not have to match. Just so you know, they don't. You can have Kristen's Favorite Things can be my brand name, and my store can be General Ed's Mercantile, and it does not matter. Those things do not have to match. So just get that really clear for you right now. However, having them match just creates more brand presence. It creates an easier way for the USPTO to say yes to your trademark, because you see, wow, these people have this brand everywhere. It's a recognized brand, and therefore we're going to allow you to trademark it. So Kristen's Favorite Things is my brand name, my bundle brand. So I'm going to do your ultimate, video gaming accessory kit. I'm going to have a graphics, cable and card. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just saying I'm trying to create this bundle here. And my brand name is Kristen's Favorite Things. So all of the things I'm branding are going to be Kristen's Favorite Things. That's my bundle brand. And the branding inside of that does not matter. So yes, you can trademark both your logo and just the name. The cheapest way to do it is just your name. If you have, and I don't mean your name, I mean your bundle brand name. So if I wanted to create a trademark, it would be Kristen's Favorite Things. Now, if I have a logo, you can do a design mark, which is AKA a logo. and the word mark, which is Kristen's favorite things. Do you have to do both? No. The reality is here that you need to understand about trademarking, and there's a whole episode of this. So if you want specific trademark information, go back and listen to the trademark episodes. And we actually have one coming up in the next couple of weeks. My favorite trademark attorney, Ben Becker, is going to be back with us talking about the do's and don'ts of trademarking. So stay tuned in the next couple of weeks to the Amazon Files, because we're doing a whole nother episode with Ben to talk about kind of the do's and don'ts and mistakes to avoid and things like that when you're setting up your trademark. Now, there's two different camps for trademarks. There's trademarking for just in general. Say you're creating a private label brand and you would love to see your product in Target and Best Buy and, Walmart and all these different like brick and mortar stores. You want to be a household name brand. Well, then you're going to want to take it a lot more seriously and do your logo and your word mark and pick multiple categories in which to trademark. If you just want to get brand registry on Amazon and it requires a trademark, you're going to want to pick something and simplify the process. So when I filed for my trademark, my very first trademark, I picked one category that I was trademarking in for the USPTO. I used a word mark only. I did not use a logo, and I got my brand approved for this particular brand that it's my bundle brand. This is a brand that I'm using to put on my packaging, to brand my private label item, to let Amazon know this is my brand. It's really only for Amazon. I don't want this product in Target and Walmart and all these different stores. It's just for Amazon. So if you're pursuing a brand that you are actually building as you want it to be part of the greater universe eventually or whatever, and it's not just a bundle brand, then you're going to want to definitely contact Ben Becker and talk to him about that, because that's a little bit more of a process. The other confusing part people have with trademarks is that they think because they registered over here on the trademark website, the USPTO government website, I picked baby as my category, baby blankets. But then on Amazon, they think they can only sell baby blankets under that trademark. No, that's actually not the case. You can sell auto parts, you can sell grocery, you can sell anything else under that brand once you're registered on Amazon. The difference is that the U.S. government will not protect your trademark if someone tried to copy you and say you're making, you registered for baby blankets on the USPTO. They recognize you as a brand that makes baby blankets. So if someone else comes along and they say, I want to use Kristen's favorite things, only I'm going to brand taillights for a car, then they're going to see, oh, well, Kristen's favorite things over here is registered for baby blankets. And so we're not going to protect that brand because now Kristen's favorite things, somebody else wants to register for taillights. These things are complete opposite. So now we have Kristen's favorite things, somebody else registered for taillights. But on Amazon, only one person can register one brand name. So you can register multiple brand names. So I have multiple brand names. I have multiple brand registry. I have 2 trademarks. I've registered them both with Amazon. So I have multiple brands that I own, but no one else can brand Kristen's favorite things on Amazon. I own the real estate for that now. So once you do that on Amazon, you can sell in any category you want to. But with the government, they're going to tell you you're only protected in this category. And if someone were to come along and sell something in your brand that's in a different category, they might have the option to do so and you cannot sue them. So I hope you see the difference here. Is it like there's this Amazon category where you can sell anything you want as long as you're registered with that brand on Amazon. And then there's the government that says, well, you have to register in all the categories. Otherwise, you're only protected in the one category. But that doesn't have anything to do with your Amazon listings. So just keep that in mind when you're trademarking either for just Amazon purposes or with the government. That's why they take these things so seriously, because they want you to be aware of the rules and what you're protected and what you're not. Most of the time, back in the day, mostly people are registering a trademark because they don't want anyone copying their product. They think they have the best idea in the whole world, and they're trademarking it because they don't want anyone else copying off of them, ripping them off, and creating knockoffs of their brands that are using the same language. So the protection is there so that no one else can copy your great idea. But that doesn't translate to Amazon in the same way. So just be aware of the trademark issues and go back and listen to the trademark full episode. And there's also more information in the Amazon Files Hub with that as well. Okay. When you are vetting a possible bundle, does rank carry a higher priority than the amount of relevant listings or vice versa? What range should I be looking for? Okay, let me clarify this question for a second. When you're vetting a possible bundle, does rank carry a higher priority than than how many relevant listings? Either way, what is the range I should be looking for? So the range is going to be thinking about supply and demand. That is the range you want to look at. I don't care about sales rank as much, and I don't care about any other things. What is the actual supply and demand of the bundle that you're going to create? So let me give you an example. I've used the ukulele example before. So my daughter wanted one of the main bundles that I use as an example is my daughter wanted to play the ukulele. She wanted one for Christmas, and I had no idea what to look for. So I looked up ukuleles on Amazon, and a couple of them were just single ukuleles. And then I saw this bundle. It was a ukulele. It came with a case. It came with a tuner and a couple picks and a strap to it. And I was like, okay, this is a great idea. So I bought that item. Make sure, number one, that you're comparing apples to apples and not apples to oranges. A single unit ukulele and a ukulele bundle are apples to oranges comparison. So make sure that you're making sense of that. You cannot compare a bundle to a single unit item. It's not a fair comparison because a bundle is always going to be kind of in its own category. So are there bundles, if you're looking at the weight of this particular this priority as far as the rank or how many listings, supply and demand. You go to somewhere like Merchant Words and you look up the supply and demand. So if you're looking up ukulele, you look up ukulele and then you sort them and you see how many people are searching for ukuleles. Is it a lot? How many listings are there? And then see, well, what about ukulele bundles? If you're going to be making a bundle, are there any bundles? How many bundles are there? Where are you going to be on that page? If you're looking at ukulele beginner kit and there's nothing that meets the need of that item, then you're going to be number one every time. So looking at not just the single unit item, you have to look at what problem are you solving with your bundle. So that's the number one thing. Forget rank, forget anything else. You look at what problem are you solving? I'm solving the problem of a beginner's ukulele kit. That's what I want. Someone wants to learn how to play the ukulele and they want these different things. Maybe it comes with a book with different chords or how to play certain songs, or it's a link to a video, whatever it is. It's different than just buying a single unit ukulele. So make sure you're not comparing single unit items to possible bundles. That's what makes bundles so awesome. It sets them apart from single unit items because they're a whole different entity. Buying a mug, and I have mugs, so I have my mommy income mug right here. Buying a mug and buying a Mother's Day gift set is not the same. So making sure that a Mother's Day item that would include something like this. So make sure that when you're comparing these things, that you look at that. Now it's supply and demand. If you look up on Merchant Words like ukulele beginner kit, and there's 5,000 searches a month for that item, and then you go to Amazon and there's 2 pages full of bundles, you're probably not going to end up on page 1 or 2 of that. And you might as well just, that's a supply and demand thing. But looking for holes in the market, when someone types in a certain keyword and no results come up that are genuine good match results. And that's where you can't use AI. You can't use algorithms and bots to make these decisions for you. Your human brain has to use the wholesale bundle framework to make decisions based on the supply and demand. Because Merchant Words can tell you 5,000 people a month are searching for ukulele kits, and then you go to Amazon and you see that there's only 2 kits available. Does that mean there's room for yours? Absolutely it does, because 5,000 people are searching for this a month and there's only 2 available. That means you can be the third one. You're going to be on page 1 and you're going to get a percentage of those sales. So when it comes to picking bundle opportunities and comparing as far as competitors and how you're going to rank there, looking at how many bundles are available in that category for those keywords versus single unit items, because single unit items and bundles are not the same comparison. What do you know about drop shipping your own items and bundles on eBay? Oh, great question. Here's what I'll say about that. First of all, I think what you're saying is, can you drop ship your bundles from Amazon to eBay, Etsy, customers, things like that? Absolutely, yes. Even now, Facebook Marketplace, when people order something on Marketplace, you can ship it from Amazon. It's perfectly acceptable to do so. So what can you do about it? Yeah, you can absolutely do that. I will tell you that I've tried it personally, cross-listing my stuff on eBay. I have not really got any good sales. It's easy to do as far as if you're going to drop ship from your Amazon account to your Etsy, your Poshmark, your wherever else you're selling, eBay, whatever. You can absolutely do that. You go into your Amazon listing and you create a fulfillment order, and then that will be shipped from Amazon to your customer as a fulfillment and not a removal. So all you have to do is create a fulfillment order, put the customer's information in, and you basically drop shipped your item from your Amazon store to some of your other stores. I will tell you my personal experience and the products that we sell, eBay customers aren't paying those prices. They're paying higher prices on Amazon. So we haven't had any good luck with doing that, but your results may vary. I mean, you might be selling a really high demand item on eBay that someone really wants. So Amazon commands a lot higher prices, but you can absolutely do that. Drop ship from Amazon to other platforms. Now, drop shipping on Amazon is actually against terms of service the way most people do drop shipping. That's why I don't recommend drop shipping, because you're supposed to, according to Amazon's terms of service, you're supposed to have your products in hand ready to ship when you offer them for sale. They don't want you drop shipping. They don't want you selling a patio set from Home Depot on Amazon and then going to Home Depot and having Home Depot ship that to your customer. Because the problem is there's too many issues that can happen with shipping. There's too many issues that can happen with tracking numbers. There's too many different balls in the air that Amazon doesn't want to deal with. And so because of that, I don't recommend drop shipping on Amazon unless you have you 100% know you're out of stock, because what happens is it hurts your metrics. If you're unable to deliver that drop ship item, then you have to cancel the order, and canceled orders hurt your Amazon account and eventually get you shut down from being able to do merchant fulfill at all. And nobody wants that. So there's just a better way. It's shipping items to Amazon and having them fulfill them for you. Then you don't have to worry about drop shipping, and you don't have to worry about all these metrics that are hurting your account. Okay. Here's a great question. Thank you for listening to the podcast since October of 2019. Always look forward to your trainings and topics. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Okay. I'm trying to find products that will work, but I'm restricted in a lot of categories. What would your advice be to someone who's starting out selling in restricted categories? Okay, so toys, for example. Okay, so now is the time to get into toys if you're going to sell toys for Q4. Now, most of the time, the restrictions come in with merchant fulfilled. So if you're restricted from selling toys and Q4 is right around the corner and you want to be able to sell toys for Q4, the way to get in the door is to start selling some things right now. And also do 100% FBA. People that are doing merchant fulfill only, they're missing out on all of those Amazon Prime customers, which is like 92% of the population is Amazon Prime, and your merchant fulfill items do not qualify for Amazon Prime. And so people order from Prime customers first. Just be aware of that. I'm 100% FBA. There's during COVID, when there was some restrictions, we moved over to merchant fulfill because Amazon said you're not allowed to send us anything. So that was part of the problem that we dealt with. But we are all FBA. We don't want to ship customers directly to customers. It's just kind of a pain. So that's one of the reasons we use Amazon to begin with, so that we can be kind of hands off of our inventory. We don't have to process orders every day. I can go on vacation tomorrow, which this week I am going on vacation. And I don't have to ship orders. My orders are coming in. FBA is fulfilling them for me, and I don't have to worry about daily customers and things like that. So that's the advantage of FBA. Now, restricted categories. Here's the thing about restricted categories. You want to be able to submit legitimate wholesale invoices to get ungated. They call it ungated, unrestricted in these categories. If you're starting out with retail arbitrage, getting ungated is really difficult in those specific categories because Amazon wants to see you purchasing in bulk in order to be a legitimate distributor. As much as Amazon accepts retail receipts, they don't prefer that because they don't honor that as a legitimate business model, as far as a legitimate way to source products. So go for the wholesale. Go to wholesale first. It doesn't have to be expensive in order to start wholesale. You can start with $300 or less. Watch that video on YouTube, how to start wholesale with $300 or less. There's a free vendor list. You can get all that stuff there. But getting ungated would be like the best way I can describe getting ungated or unrestricted in a category is to find a supplier or vendor, even a dollar store or something like that, that has in wholesale invoices and purchase 10 to 20 of a single unit item. So that Amazon wants to see that it's not for personal use. This is an invoice to a business, and it has your credentials on your invoice need to match the credentials that Amazon has for you on file. So if you're Kristen's favorite things at 1234 Main Street, blah, 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 they want that to match what your invoice says according to where your Amazon store is. And they will verify it and they will decline you if you submit an invoice that doesn't have matching information. They don't care how much it costs you. They want to see that it's for personal use. So if you bought 48 units of this dollar store toy item and you want to sell it on Amazon, poof, you can be ungated in toys because you did that. There still will be ASIN level restrictions. So like certain ASINs, like I know back in the day, it was like frozen items or like brand new hot release toys. They have certain restrictions on. So pay attention to those because you will have some restrictions when it comes to that. But these are, getting ungated is as simple as buying a wholesale quantity of something from a legitimate wholesale distributor and making sure that your credentials match. Submitting that to Amazon to get approval to sell in that category. So be patient with them. They sometimes reject invoices for very silly things like your zip code was wrong, and they won't tell you why. They don't say, oh, you've been rejected because of these reasons. They just say you've been rejected. We'll try again because, they sometimes don't know their ear from their elbow at Amazon, and you have to be consistent. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Keep the cases open and keep submitting them. So getting ungated, and when you're starting out with retail arbitrage, if you are starting out with retail arbitrage, I would try to start with products that have some longevity and that aren't restricted. So maybe try some categories in the home department where it's like normal name brands that, like lesser known brands that are tried and true kind of products that you can list. I would hit the clearance aisle. I would look for used books to kind of get yourself started. They're easy to come by and things like that. So that's a great place to start. Okay, I have time for a couple more. And you know what? I'll probably do a part 2 of this because it just seems so much easier. I have a boatload more questions to answer. You guys have submitted hundreds of questions. Like it would take me days to go through all of these. But this is another great question too. What is the biggest reason that people fail or quit at this business model? I think particularly with wholesale bundles, and maybe this is a question that you have. And first of all, I would say because they don't use my system. The wholesale bundle system is very, very comprehensive. It goes through beginning of starting with wholesale, how to get wholesale suppliers, how to set up your business legitimately. And I have a proven research framework. People that go through these research frameworks, they understand exactly how to do the research process. If you follow through on that. One of the reasons why people quit or fail so early on in this business model is because it's front-loaded work. You have to do the work up front. You have to do the research up front. You have to look for suppliers up front. You have to build your bundle up front. But you don't have to, it doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be that time consuming, but you have to commit to it and be consistent. The number one reason people fail is because they're not consistent. They're expecting a quick fix. If you're trying to pay your rent this month, this is not the business model for you. Get a job, not a business. But if you're ready to look for long-term sustainability in business, this is what people do. They front load their work. They cross their T's and dot their I's in the beginning so that they know when their bundle hits Amazon, it's going to sell because they did everything in the beginning. So it doesn't cost a ton of money. It doesn't cost a ton of time to be able to front load your Amazon business, but it's something that I definitely require you do ahead of time. People quit too soon. That's the problem. They quit before they see the results because the results come a little bit later. It's delayed gratification, right? It's like anything you can have. It's not a quick fix. That's the thing. People are looking for just some quick wins right now. Like if you want to sell something, sell it on Facebook Marketplace, sell it on OfferUp, sell something. If you want cash today, sell your couch on Facebook Marketplace, not on Amazon, because obviously it takes a little bit more time to build it. You're building a business though. That's what people don't understand, is that when you build a business and you build it correctly, you have an asset that you can sell. Just like if you rent a house versus buying a house, regardless, if you do it correctly, you sell in the right market, you will always make money. Not always in real estate, I guess. I'm not a real estate guru, but the idea there is you're buying an asset. If you put money into it and you help it out and you wait for the right market, you will make money on that asset. But you can never make money on renting something because you're only renting it for a time being. So look at this as renting versus buying. If you invest in a business model that has a proven track record and longevity, then say in 3 years, if you're tired of Amazon, you have a business asset that you've built that you can then sell to someone else. It's not just I'm going to close my Amazon store and just be done with it. You're building an asset. You're building a bundle brand. So you can sell a brand to somebody. Like, people don't realize that they're building a business that they can actually sell to somebody if they decide that it's no longer for them. So if you look at it as creating a sellable asset down the road that you want to then sell your Amazon store and move on to something else or build another brand or whatever, then you take it a lot more seriously. It's like buying a house. It's like a fixer-upper. You're going to fix it up a little bit, put a little money into the kitchen, put a little bit of money into the yard, the bathroom, make a curb appeal, and then sell the house for more. Same type of thing for building your Amazon business. So people quit or fail because they don't commit and they don't realize that they're building an asset and they need to shape it as such. So you guys, great questions. I've already committed to this. I'm going to do a part 2 of this question, your Ask Me Anything kind of questions. There's so many questions to get to. So I'm going to do, next week, I'll do another episode of Ask Me Anything kind of questions, because you guys have hundreds of questions here that are great questions. So don't forget about the workshop, mommyincome.com/workshop. I want to meet you in person. I want to work on bundles together. I want your success story to be the next one I tell on this podcast, because you're knocking it out of the park because you learned how to build bundles the correct way. Don't forget mommyincome.com/workshop. The coupon code is workshop50. Hope to see you there. Guys, I know you could be anywhere else listening to any other thing. I don't take that for granted. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you same time, same place next week on the Amazon Files.